Welcome to lesson number 2, which is about implementation or how to introduce nutrition and lifestyle counseling to your patients and to your community. So, the idea here is how do you create awareness for this nutritional consulting service to your patients and to other important referral sources? So, let's identify who we're talking about here. First, we're talking about your existing patients. They need to know that you offer this valuable service. And then we're talking about the family members and friends of your existing patients, because maybe the patient themselves doesn't really have a need for what you're doing around nutrition, but maybe a close friend or a relative or a spouse might actually benefit. So that awareness has to go through that patient to the individual who's in need. Also, the third group of people that should know that you provide this service are the medical doctors within your community whose patients you're already seeing. So we'll come back to that point. And also, number 4, colleagues within your own profession, they should know that you now have a higher level of service that you're offering in this area that doesn't compete with what they're doing, that can provide benefit to the patients that they're seeing. And then number 5, your inner circle of friends and friends, your close friends and family members need to know that you provide this service now. They'll be a source of referrals. And also local companies and organizations in your vicinity. So let's go through each one of these. With your own existing patients, what you need to have is a brochure or a pamphlet in your waiting room that explains your nutritional consulting and lifestyle medicine service and the types of conditions where you can be helpful so people can identify conditions that they have or someone else might have, and the importance of this service to health and to the person's healthy life expectancy. Now, with your existing patients, once the chief complaint that they came in with is addressed, I would suggest that you do what I do, and that is set aside a separate appointment to discuss any comorbidity issues that were identified on the intake questionnaire when you first saw the patient. Maybe they weren't seeing you because they had high cholesterol or high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes or an autoimmune disease, or because they're a cancer survivor or they have diverticular disease, but it was identified on the intake questionnaire. And what you want to do is at a certain point, once they have confidence in you because you dealt with the chief complaint, is you want to then encourage them to make an appointment for a comprehensive nutritional medicine assessment and programming, because you feel you could be helpful in helping them manage these other issues that are sort of a threat to their health to some degree, or where you're going to help to optimize their health to help overcome some of these problems. So that's an important patient visit with your own existing patients. Then sometimes the patient that you're seeing doesn't actually have a problem, but their family members or one of their friends might have the problem. So this is the second source of referrals: family members and friends of your existing patients. So how are they going to find out? Well, you should have that waiting room brochure that explains your nutritional consulting service that's available. It's very helpful, and it explains the type of conditions that you see. But you should actually be handing, or your receptionist or someone in your office, one of your coworkers should be handing that brochure with an explanation to every new patient that you see and every existing patient that you have, to let them know that you're also providing this high nutritional consulting type of service now that you didn't have previously, possibly. And if they don't need that particular service themselves, it'll help them identify in that brochure other people they know who might benefit. It might be their spouse. It might be a close relative. It might be a coworker. It might just be a close friend who has one of the conditions that they see on the brochure. So they mention it and say, listen, hey, I think that my doctor might be able to help you with this problem because they're now doing this type of counseling and coaching. Now, remember that it's important on that brochure to also lay out your fee schedule for your nutritional consulting service and weight loss programming, whatever services you're offering. The fee schedule should be there so the person understands before they phone the office what the approximate cost is going to be before they even get started. Now, the third source of referrals for implementation are medical doctors in your community whose patients you're already seeing. This is just some advice I would give any practitioner, and that is always send the patient's family doctor and or specialist a physician report that outlines your findings and your plan of management for the case. Even if the doctor didn't send the patient to you, even if the doctor is sort of antagonistic to the type of treatment that you're rendering, they should still know what it is, what your findings are, what your plan of management is, And as they read your report, if it's written intelligently, it'll start to inspire some confidence so they start to understand that maybe you are on a similar playing field. But in that report, also include your desire to perform a nutritional consultation for any comorbidity issues that you happen to identify that's in your area of expertise. So this will prompt them to refer other patients to you who are asking about integrative treatment for their condition. A lot of medical doctors and specialists today have patients who are saying, okay, doctor, you're putting me on these drugs. I'm not crazy about the drugs. I see they have side effects. I went on the internet and I saw that. But could I be doing some lifestyle things and nutrition things and supplementation things? And the doctor goes, I don't really, it's not my area really. And they have a lot of patients asking them for this kind of advice. So if they start to see that you can communicate to them in a professional way using medical terminology and physiological processes that are part of their everyday vernacular, it inspires confidence that you might be a person they can send those patients to. And if you're like me, you're going to start getting referrals from medical doctors in your community who you don't even know just because the patients that they have are asking for an integrative service that they're not able to provide often. The fourth source of referrals for implementation, so that you have patients to see, are colleagues within your own profession. At every conference and professional gathering that you go to, where your colleagues are there. You want to have with you your nutritional consulting brochure. Let your colleagues know are providing this as an additional service to your practice. Start discussing with them some of the success cases that you've seen, and they start to say, I have some patients that I think would benefit from that. It's not competing with what I'm doing because I don't really do this type of work myself. But if you think you can help, I have a few patients I could send you. There's a nurse who's a friend of mine who sends me over 20 new patients a year just for nutritional consulting. And when they see results, it inspires them to send other cases to you because it makes them look good. It's like they found this tremendous resource who's helping these people that they don't hesitate to send those patients to you. Now, you can also send an email to your inner circle of close colleagues that explains this new nutritional consulting service that you're doing and a copy of your brochure so that some of your close friends who maybe you don't see on a regular basis will still be notified about it. Group number 5 as a referral source are your inner circle of friends and family. So just let your friends and family members know about this new service, just in sort of casual conversation. You'll be surprised how many patients you'll get referred to by just one single friend who values this particular approach that you're taking. I have a friend who's not a colleague, not a doctor, no medical training, sends me 5 or 6 of his coworkers every year for a nutritional medicine consult because I helped the first person that he sent me, and then he had tremendous confidence, and he just sends me, on a regular basis. I get every couple of months another new patient referred from an individual who's not even a health practitioner. And then finally, local companies and organizations. So once again, we talked about doing the lunch and learns to local companies and organizations. Also, local seniors groups are always looking for speakers. Retirement communities always looking for speakers. Other organizations, the Osteoporosis Society in your particular neighborhood, as an example. And when you get there, leaving behind your business card is one thing, but leaving behind, and this is more important, a brochure that explains your nutritional consulting service and how you go about it, the types of conditions that you see, what your fees are, is extremely helpful. And you'll find that many people will come up to you after the talk, and even if they don't have a problem, they might say, I've got a child who has ADHD. Do you think you could help them? Or I've just been diagnosed with osteoporosis. Or, my wife developed lupus. Or I have high cholesterol. I'm on statin drugs, but I'm looking for some natural ways that I could maybe improve my cholesterol management, and maybe my doctor could lower my dose of statin drugs. I'd like that. Are you someone that can help me with that? People will ask you questions like that, and these become a great source of new patient referrals as well. So there's no point in offering nutritional consulting if no one's going to know about it. So you need, by implementing this sort of 6-step awareness program, as I've outlined it here for you, it will ensure that patients with a wide variety of ailments who need your help will find you or be referred to your office for this very important service. So there are so many people who really need this service. All you have to do is get the word out with a proper implementation plan, and they will start arriving on your doorstep. Okay, so in lesson 3, we're going to review the cost of nutritional consulting service and look at third-party billing opportunities to make it easier for patients to pay for your nutritional consulting service. So I'll see you in lesson 3.